Greetings everybody, my name is Tommy the Keyblade Master and welcome to my channel. A few weeks ago, Microsoft was doing a countdown sale and I managed to pick up Snoopy's Grand Adventure for a discounted price. I was kind of curious to see if this would be a terrible game or not. After sitting down and playing it, it's by no means a terrible game. In fact, there are some parts like the Snoopy disguises that are quite clever, but the stage design being kind of weak and the fact that it is a quote-unquote kids game really just makes this game kind of dull. Let's get into this and I'll show you what I mean. The game starts off with a bunch of the Peanuts gang challenging Charlie Brown to a game of hide-and-go-seek. The kids run off and Snoopy goes off to look for them. Each of these stages are based off of things in Snoopy's imagination, or at least I would assume. Either that or the worlds just make no sense. But other than that quick cutscene at the beginning, there are no real story segments. You just go into each world, and when you complete all the stages in the world, you beat a boss and you find one of the kids and bring them back to the backyard settings. Once you find all the kids, you beat the game. That's pretty much it for the story. Nothing really deep here, but it fits with the simple 2D platforming that this game offers. Speaking on the gameplay level, Snoopy's Grand Adventure's controls are really top-notch and very tight. I had no problems moving Snoopy around, getting him to maneuver around obstacles. The controls are not an issue in this game, and as I said before, there's a lot of really neat ideas when it comes to his costumes, mainly because they help you get around certain obstacles. All of these costumes have been seen in the comic strip in one form or another, so they're a really neat, nostalgic way to kind of get Snoopy to dress up in these power-ups. And each of these costumes has a special ability. The scout uniform lets you climb on certain vines and ladders. The spacesuit lets you jump really high, and of course, being Joe Cool, freezes enemies whenever you look at them and lets you use them as platformers. These are some really great power-ups. The only power-up I didn't like was the detective power-up. Wanna guess why? Yeah, who could have thought that having a giant magnifying glass on screen at all times could be considered annoying? Unfortunately, the stages aren't exactly memorable in their design. They're just super easy obstacles that you have to get around in order to complete the game, and nothing about them really sticks out and is really memorable at all. Also, because the game is a kids game, it bends over backwards not to be difficult. Yeah, I'm not going to go into full-fledged old fart mode, but when I was a kid, games like Chip and Dale, Rescue Rangers, and Tiny Toons may not have beaten us over our heads like our Ninja Gaidens and our Ghouls and Ghosts, but game overs and deaths still happened. It taught us in order to succeed, you have to first fail. And because of that, those games, in my opinion, are timeless and still as fun for me today as an adult as when I was a kid. Here, enemy encounters are rare, and when you do take damage, more often than not, you can just always jump up and grab that heart right back, making it almost next to impossible for Snoopy to die. Because of this game is just really boring for anyone over the age of 5. And I do have to point out the worst stage of the game is when the game tries to become a shmup for Snoopy's Red Baron fantasies. Look at this and tell me what is missing from this and that of a good shmup. And I will remind you that shmup stands for side-scrolling shoot-'em-up. Any guess what's missing here? There's no shooting at all! There's absolutely no action in this stage. The enemies never fire at you. When you fire at them, you always hit with invisible bullets. The only thing that actually resembles any kind of fun is the boss battle of the stage, and when I can actually have to dodge bullets and missiles is only with him. This is something I should have been doing since the beginning of the stage, is dodging this stuff, but it only comes in at the boss. And before anyone tells me that this is a Peanuts game and that Snoopy shouldn't be firing real missiles, I want you to take a look at Snoopy Flying Ace right here. As you can see, I'm shooting real bullets and missiles at other Peanuts characters in a Peanuts licensed game made by Microsoft for the Xbox 360. So, not having any real bullets is BS in my opinion. Speaking about the rest of the bosses, They're a bit of a mixed bag. Some are really clever, like this Peppermint Patty mask boss, in which I have to throw a baseball, or this boss where I have to climb up to the top of a pachinko machine in order to stomp a boss a few times in order to find the kid. And then there are a few that are kind of lame, like the fact that I have to climb up another set of levels in the sewer stage just dodging slime. I didn't really think that boss was really fun, but either way, because the game is just way too easy, it takes some of the cleverness out of these fights. Oh, and just in case you're wondering about those jelly beans you see me collecting in a lot of these stages, well, I had to go online to YouTube to see what they do, and basically, if you collect all the jelly beans in one whole world, some of the animations for the kids change in the background. Yeah, that's not much of a reward for doing this type of stuff. And yes, you will have to backtrack because you have to unlock costumes as you go along, and sometimes you need to go backtrack through a stage with a different costume in order to find all the jelly beans. To me, this is tedious BS to increase the game's replay, and I don't enjoy it, so I didn't do it. Sorry, Lucy, you're just going to have to remain ticked. While the gameplay certainly didn't blow me away, I do have to say I love the way this game looks. The animations and the character designs fit the Blue Sky animated film perfectly. It even has some of the animation flaws that you saw in that movie, and it just lends this game a really great sense of charm, and the backgrounds for the most part are really good. It just shows off how much imagination Snoopy has, and it's just a really great looking game. And I found the graphics themselves to be charming, even if the stages they represented weren't. On the sound side of things, other than the voice of Charlie Brown, which is the only character I do believe we ever really hear talk, there isn't anything in the way of real voice acting.
Press the A button to jump.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Just him giving you little clues and telling you what to do as kind of this narrator would be the best way to describe Charlie Brown and his voice acting in this game. So there's not really much here. Sound-wise, they reuse a lot of the old Peanuts music in all the backgrounds, which is something I do enjoy. I'm not going to play any of that music in this video because I have a feeling it will get content ID flags all day long. But just know that I very much approve the fact that they use Lucy and Linus as the background music for the hub world. If you don't know what Lucy and Linus is, well, you know that piano theme that they always play in Peanuts movies and specials that gets stuck in your head for days afterwards? That is Lucy and Linus, and they have that playing in the background on the hub stage, and I just love it that they did that. It's one of my favorite little background tunes I've heard in cartoons, and I love the fact that it's in the background in this game. If I have to give Snoopy's Grand Adventure a numerical score, I would give it a 2.5 out of 5. It's not a great game, and Snoopy, I wouldn't be dancing if I were you. Yes, the graphics are charming and the controls are great, but the stages aren't very memorable, and the fact that someone decided along the line that this had to be a kids-only game and the amount of handholding and just overall ease just makes this game feel tedious. You know you're going to win, and there's no challenge in it, and that just really brings the game down for me. I hope they make a sequel to this and add some challenge for those of us who are Peanuts fans who are an adult, but because this game is so easy, it's just something I can't recommend for $40, which is what Activision wants for it at normal price. If this had been a downloadable only game for $10 to $20, I might be able to recommend it to Peanuts fans, but I can't recommend it at $40. It's just way too much for what you get. There's just no replay value in this. I don't see myself replaying this game ever again, except to hear maybe the Lucy and Linus theme on the overworld. So, sorry, I just can't really recommend the game. In the meantime, this is Tommy the Keyblade Master signing out, but before I do, I would like to ask you to comment on this video if you have any opinions, and you can also click on that subscribe button if you want more of my reviews and editorials. Thank you for watching.